Good afternoon, book lovers of the internet. Welcome back to my channel. I am BookNerd802, and in this video I am going to be reviewing this book called The Wizard's Bakery by Gu Byeong-mo, translated by Jamie Chung from the Korean, to my knowledge. Now this one does come with a bit of a trigger list towards the beginning. And yeah, there is an important note. Please read with care. This book touches on dark topics and sensitive subject matter as follows: domestic violence, grief and loss, sexual assault, physical abuse, rape, suicide or attempted suicide, death of a parent, pedophilia, emotional manipulation, and self-harm. This is a work of magical realism depicting the harsh reality of the society we unfortunately live in and the consequences of using magic to avoid taking responsibility for one's actions. Now, there are also several illustrations throughout the book. This one consists of 250 pages, and I rated it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. You will find the link to my review in the description down below. There are going to be several spoilers ahead, so watch this one with caution. It definitely did not shy from some very heavy topics, as I mentioned. Considering how cozy one would think the story to be, this is definitely not the case. And it's basically about a kid who finds refuge inside of a bakery where a wizard works after being accused of abusing his sister by his sister. This is the protagonist I am talking about, not the wizard. He is also beaten by his stepmother and ignored entirely by his father whilst this is happening. The protagonist also suffers from a stutter and can't seem to catch a break as far as bullying is concerned because of how he can't really express himself using words, and the teachers are no exception. The people who he considers his friends aren't the only ones who bully him at school. He is a bit of a nobody there, and the teachers bully him as well. And this one is basically a tale of consequences and how we are responsible for our actions, as well as how all we have is the present. It's no point dwelling over the past, really, and we don't really know what the future holds. And I enjoyed how Byung-mo tried to experiment with the concept of time travel and gave us two outcomes towards the end of the story with regard to the decision the kid could have made. Um, the protagonist, our main character, certainly needed to have some slack cut. Poor guy, he really went through a lot. His mother committed suicide after abandoning him at a train station, and he first had to see her at a hospital with her wrists slit, as well as witnessing a belt hung from the ceiling fan once he got back home, to my knowledge. Pretty traumatizing for a young person to see, and even more so when you realize that at that age you are too young to understand the implications and the connections, and change suddenly takes over your life even though you have nothing to do with it. You are not a willing participant in that which happens in your um, family life, basically. And yeah, the implications just make it that much more of a tragic story than it already basically is, considering how many horrible things happen with the magic this wizard sells um, in his bakery and through a website which the kid takes care of. So, a fair warning that one of the characters kills herself after magic is used to get her to shit herself in class during an exam and embarrass herself in front of everyone. And this gave me the impression that Korea tends to be a place where dignity is valued highly. And I don't blame any country for having such a culture. As a matter of fact, I feel as though um, certain standards should form part of every country in the world, but suicide might be taking it a bit too far. But I do kind of understand why these things tend to happen and how people feel based on how they are brought up and the sort of um, cultured individuals they are expected to be, and the honor they are meant to bring their families respectively. As it turned out, the father was responsible for taking advantage of his stepdaughter rather than her teacher, who was originally accused, before Muhi's brother, our protagonist, was also accused, and such a plot twist honestly made plenty of sense once our protagonist found father and stepdaughter on the same bed, with the father doing inappropriate things to his new wife's underage daughter, which is absolutely depressing. And yeah, once again, it is definitely a story I consider depressing, and also it's very well hidden under the guise of fantasy and realms beyond our own where magic is derived from. And for every action, there still must be an equal and opposite reaction. I mean, I'm not quite sure how Isaac Newton came into this, but anyway, karma does play a massive role, whether you believe in it or not. It does play a huge role in this story, and even when you do wish harm upon others, that will somehow revert back to you. And magic in this book is tackled in a very logical way in this read, and I would say that it's translated very well. Very fast paced kind of read, lovely illustrations, written well too. The pastries, of course, consist of some very weird ingredients, but they do their job well, and people are generally not satisfied since when harm is wished upon others and acted upon, it tends to bounce back. So the people are not annoyed by the fact that the magic does not work or that the wizard is a fraud, but rather by the fact that they cannot really take accountability and they are just trying to shrug the blame um, onto somebody else when they fully knew what to expect when they bought the products online. So overall, as I mentioned, an original concept and a very fast-paced read. However, it would not have made sense for the wizard to sell pastries which would send someone back in time to begin with. And as a very well established wizard, why would you give humans such power over everyone whilst not having your business benefit in the slightest from the transaction, money wise and anything in between? I would have written it in such a way that the decision is given solely to the protagonist, as ultimately happened, but would have never put it on sale or put a price on it on going back in time and changing the lives of so many people. I would say that it's highly irresponsible and illogical as a strategy, which I did not expect from such a brilliant wizard, because on several occasions the wizard does prove how capable he is of um, altering his clients' lives. And the kid dealt with a lot, and I hope he recovers from all the trauma he endured, both psychological and physical. And I also do hope that we get a sequel where we get to see this kid now more grown up, more mature, where he'll perhaps have more of a fun relationship with the wizard, more of a, let's call it a suitable relationship where he becomes more of an apprentice and learns to take care of the bakery and gets more autonomy over the months. And perhaps, I mean, the stutter could also be fixed. I should hope so. Honestly, yeah, that is also one thing which kind of bothered me, because this wizard can literally do anything, and yet he never really bothered to take care of the kid's stutter, even though it caused so many problems for our protagonist. But anyway, that is all I had to say about The Wizard's Bakery by Gu Byeong-mo. This was published just a couple of weeks ago, very recent publication. I was lucky enough to find it in the Agenda outlet in Valletta next to Costa Coffee, and those are my thoughts. As I mentioned, I finished reading it very quickly. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, take a look at the rest of my content, because why not? It's absolutely amazing. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye, guys.